October 15th, 2025, meeting of the Library Board of Trustees to order. We're a few minutes late, but we've had a couple of technical difficulties today. Introductions, I think Sean is our only one that maybe some people don't know, but
yeah, from the Friends. I'm Marie for the Friends. She's not driving at night the rest of this year, so I get to come.
Welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
Happy to have you. And so public comments, I don't see any public, but we didn't receive any online. So, I think we're getting a little bit of feedback from Jimmy, maybe, but I think she might have muted herself.
Are we good?
Okay. So the minutes and circulation report is next. Any comments on the minutes? The circulation report begins on page 4. And once again, looks like we had a really good month in September. Any comments, questions for Sammy and the team?
I just kind of made an observation that it looked to me like programs are kind of becoming more and more of a thing, you know, as you move forward. The circulation was down just probably 50 or 60 or something over the past 2 years, but programming is going up. It seems to be.
Yeah.
And the graphs kind of support that too. So I was just thinking going forward that it's probably going to be even more.
Probably not more programs because we don't have the capacity.
Yeah, I was just looking at, I was talking to another person, Lori Nordall, today that was working on this stuff, and she was talking about when you're looking at how you come up with that formula that some smaller libraries couldn't offer any kind of program versus what Coos Bay Public Library is able to offer. And then I'm looking at these graphs and looking at these statistics, and I'm thinking that they keep getting more and more popular or something, better attended, or like it's something that's going to be a trend for the future. Is what I was thinking.
Well, I think so, because I mean, it's back to that community center approach. And also, if you're talking about the libraries in Coos County, there are some that do not have any space to do a program.
Yeah.
So that's why that hinders that. So, or we're lucky to at least have space.
Yeah, it's there. So I always thought that the number of programs has been impressive because it's just a lot of work every month to put these things together.
Yes, it is.
And we have a good team that does it, but yeah, it's always a capacity issue, right? Any other comments on the circulation report?
Just a point of clarification off of this. Do I remember when we were talking about county level, part of funding was tied to the amount of programs?
No, it's
Okay.
not tied to program,
I
no,
don't-
because of that very reason.
Okay.
Like Powers does not have has no group or no anything, so that would be a serious advantage.
At one point, was it? Did we
At
discuss that some
one point, some people wanted it worked into the formula, but that was why all the directors said no, because that puts them at a distinct disadvantage.
Yeah, that's unfair.
But it's more visits and circulation, things that are equal in the libraries. Like everybody has visitors, everybody has circulation, unlike things like programs.
Okay.
And I also had a question about the Timber Haven birthday bash. I guess I was looking it up and just what it was. But can you talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, they're a group that has a branch here in the area, and they just do reenactments and like the sword fighting, and they had spinning and just arts from way back yonder. And yeah, it was fun. They were having a hoot, and
they were out.
They were out in the back parking lot. Yeah, we blocked it off, and they set up. I'm proud to say our library had a fighting pit. Not many libraries can say that. But yeah, they
It's
just,
kind of a historical reenactment, not.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
yeah,
From the medieval.
it's all medieval times.
Right.
Yeah, and then since then they came in and did a,
Clothing.
garment, clothing
Oh, yeah.
type program,
Oh,
and
yeah,
they
fun.
have some others scheduled.
There's like art, there's apothecary, they're gonna teach how to spin the wool into.
Oh, very well, I saw the spinning wheel and I thought that was very cool.
Yeah,
They
So
did that.
it was fun to
Yeah.
have them.
Any other comments or questions on the circulation report? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the circulation report as presented.
So moved.
Did I do that? We don't do that.
No,
We don't do that?
We just do the treasure. It's fine.
Okay.
I'd rather approve than not.
I keep forgetting what we do and don't do, because I have 4 other boards and we all do things.
Let's just approve everything. What the
All
heck?
right, so since we have a motion and a second on the floor, we'll just say, all those in favor say aye or raise your hand, Jenna. Motion passes. All right, now we'll move into the treasurer's report, which begins on page 6.
Is Jenny trying to reach us?
No.
No.
She's on call. She's doing both things at once.
Yeah.
She's both agents. Yeah, so we're 25% through our. This
Yes.
meeting already. Can you believe it?
How?
Crazy, the end of the first quarter is upon us and
Yeah, so I mean, things won't look rosier until our first November payment, so do not despair.
yeah, that's why we have carryover.
Exactly, that's why we have carryover, so that
Yeah.
large payment will come in shortly after the 15th.
Yeah, but on the positive side, you're not 25% suspended.
Exactly, right. No, we're doing quite well, our expenses are not, and some of those are prepaid, like the insurance we have to pay up front, so some of those big numbers look bad, but they're not really, because they're basically done. So,
Right, right.
So, anyway, yeah, so our spending is,
Any questions
We
on the treasurer's report? If not, we'll move on to the memorial fund, which somehow wasn't in the form, the
Yeah.
copy I got, but I know that she sent it separately and
we
figured
redid
it
it.
out.
Yeah.
Anyway, the memorial fund currently has $83,858.03. A lot of the disbursements, of course, food share,
Mhm.
some Ingram books, Dollywood Foundation expenses.
Right.
And then we've got, a $10,000 grant from the foundation.
Yeah, the foundation agreed, to support the the Goose Bay portion of the Dolly, Imagination Library. So they contributed $10,000 towards that, because we, have the largest amount of children in the county, and there's, I think last check were 750 Coos Bay children were in the program. So, and it's so nice because, I mean, not that number alone is really nice, but they've started to offer bilingual books also, which is really fantastic. Drops yet another barrier to literacy, and people are taking advantage of it. The numbers each month on those bilingual books go up. Not leaps and bounds, but they're rising, which is really nice to see, so. And once again, thank you, Jenny, and all you people who promoted for us.
Yeah, she's still on the phone. So, okay, any questions on the memorial fund report? If not, then this time I will entertain a motion to approve the financials and the memorial fund report as presented.
I saw me.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the financials and the memorial fund. All those in favor say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Thank you. All right, correspondence. None?
None.
Nobody loves us. Nobody writes us letters or
Well,
anything.
other than I sent you that, I mean, it wasn't really it was sort of to us about the ARC donation, food drive, and what a benefit it was, and we still have that going on through December, so.
Very good. All right, so we'll move on to your report.
Okay, well, I mean, kind of, the usual, we had, lots of great programs,
Really great.
lots of participation, which was nice, so yeah, we're, moving along nicely.
Yeah.
Oh, I did forget to put in the, oops,
What?
I forgot to put in the Libby number, sorry.
Oh.
No, there,
It's
Oh,
on
there-
mine.
How many
It's there at the
numbers do we have?
bottom.
no, this was, yeah, we.
It's cut off.
It was cut off, sorry. Yes, never mind. So we're doing well, I think we discussed this last time about Hoopla and Blackstone.
Yes.
Okay.
Did a determination, like, is it decided that you will be moving to Blackstone?
In order to maintain our budget, we kind of have to, because, Blackstone does a flat fee.
Mhm.
And what was the total? 7,000? Yeah, that's roughly $7,000.
Yeah.
That is about 3.5 months of Hoopla.
Okay.
So it just, Hoopla, unfortunately, and we're not the only library who just cannot sustain Hoopla.
It just gets bigger and bigger.
It's just every month, it just goes up, goes up. So,
So Sammy, does that mean that only things published by them is covered
Correct.
by them?
mhm. Yes,
Okay.
but
That's
the
one
advantage,
single publisher.
but they are one of the largest audiobook publishers. The nice part is that they own all the licensing, so nothing will be removed. That was one of my first questions, because out of Libby and out of Hoopla, they can yank things whenever.
Hmm.
Their agreement ends with the publisher. Blackstone owns it all, so they don't remove anything. They just continue to add. So
Oh, great.
And there won't be any restrictions as to how many you can
you
do
can
Oh, that's
check out one a day if you want.
instead of just 6.
But it is limited to a single
It is,
publisher.
right, it is. But they do publish audiobooks of some, very popular authors and others, so. We are having an ease out time period for Hoopla though.
Well, there were some things I looked for on Hoopla that I couldn't find.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm thinking of it as almost like, getting HBO Max when you had Netflix. Netflix has many different publishers.
Right.
Right. Whereas HBO Max is only like their
Right.
content.
Yeah, I mean, there is that to it, but, if we don't do something though, we're not going to be able to provide Hoopla anyway. The cost is getting prohibitive, so.
So when does this change ever happen?
We're, setting up with Blackstone, and that should be available in the next couple of weeks, and then we're not gonna phase Hoopla out. We're gonna give probably March, and have it be gone in March, so.
In March? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
A long enough time period that people can ease out and learn to use the new one, and
And are you gonna announce this to patrons so that?
as soon as we have Blackstone up
Okay.
and have tested it, I don't want people trying it before it.
Right,
No.
No, but I mean, the
Yeah.
Hoopla,
Oh, yeah.
that Hoopla
Yep.
will be going away.
Yeah.
You wanna,
Oh, yeah, we'll give people
Phase that.
plenty of notice and plenty of time to try the new app and get into the new app and do that, so.
okay?
I wanted to know, last month you were explaining to us, and I just need it repeated, because I don't think I quite understand, but I thought it had to do with maybe Libby, but maybe it was Hoopla, if there was a book that kept getting requested, but they didn't have it, but you guys would purchase it?
That's in Libby.
Libby, okay.
We do
Would you
have-
describe that?
Libby operates on several different models. You can I say purchase, but you don't really purchase. You purchase access to books either by, some will limit you to, once you do, let's say 100 checkouts on that audiobook, it goes away.
Oh,
And then you have to repurchase it again. Some will do, that's one model. One is price per checkout. That's another model they have. And each book is a different model, which is kind of why managing Libby is a nightmare. They'll do it by checkout. Some will do it by time. You have 6 months access to this book, or a year or whatever. So there's several different lending models within Libby. But if you don't see one, you have the opportunity to request it through the consortium, and they may purchase it, but also Coos County purchases some also.
and then Coos County residents.
Get first dibs on those that Coos County purchases.
Well, I was just thinking of like, kids' books that's more what I was looking at. So when series becomes really popular, I mean, they just go
Mhm.
crazy, yeah. So that'd be important.
Well, that would be something that, yeah, we would look at if we're getting requests for that.
Okay, thanks.
All right, any other questions for Sammy on her report? If not, we can go look at the, room, usage report. Still got a lot of people using that room.
We do.
Good thing it's in good working order.
Nicely.
Got new floors.
Any
so-
questions on the room?
Oh, yeah, we did get a new floor. If
Yeah,
anybody wants to
we're
look at
looking
it,
at
we had, the floor was so chewed up, it was just literally coming up and
Oh.
we had to replace the floor.
Oh, and what did we replace the floor with?
A similar type of floor, except it's glued down instead of the floating floor. And so it's
a little more,
more durable.
yes, if you spill things on it, it's not gonna go down to cracks and then, it all swells open.
Mhm.
So it's a vinyl?
Yeah, it's a.
Yeah.
Alright. And then we have a Hoopla statistics chart that
Yeah.
made my eyes drop.
Yeah.
I just wanted to, this is demonstrating my point of why Hoopla is working.
Yeah.
You can see the blue graph there of what an increase in usage it is
In growth over time.
and growth over time.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, we pay per use. If somebody picks a book and even if they play it for 1 second or through the entire thing, we pay the whole thing. So that's,
Ooh,
yeah.
Are there any tiered plans where, like, I think right now folks get access to 6 books,
Mhm.
like where we could do like 3?
We do have the ability to limit the
Uh-huh.
amounts, both price wise and number wise. Unfortunately, I took off the highest price ones,
Uh-huh.
which were of course all the good ones.
Yeah.
The other part of the decision to move away from Hoopla is they are acquiring more and more AI written books that are really bad. And I don't feel good about paying for
No.
poor books like that.
No.
And it's,
What's it, I didn't even know that was a thing.
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
And so who authors them? I mean, are they
the
names?
computers.
Literally just the computer writes it. They do movies too. There's been a big thing about that because they have actors that aren't even people.
So that's becoming more and more prevalent. When I looked at their collection the other day, the number of AI ones is just
How can you
fascinating. Cause you go in and you look,
Oh.
you can, they're very obvious because they're poorly written. And if you look at the covers, you can tell, because those are also AI generated, people with 6 figures. and stuff.
Is there a way to limit, which publishers?
No, you can't limit by that. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
So unfortunately, if I were to limit more, all you'd end up with is the AI nonsense.
Yeah.
And that's not.
I'm talking more about limiting the amount of.
The amount
books
of
they
use,
can-
from our users, we have power users who use it.
Oh,
with
yeah,
the
I mean,
full six.
when I
Yeah.
do it, I'll get like all 6 at a time.
So, yeah, I don't feel, I mean, and I've talked to some of our power users and they said, if you limit it, I won't even use it. It's not worth my time and effort for 2 books or 3 books. So,
It's really sad.
Hmm.
When you only have 30.
yeah, we did all 3 minutes.
But if those power users didn't use as much, then that would cut down the cost as well, though.
May, so.
I'm just thinking to shift over to another service is a pretty big change, and I'm just wondering what kind of things we've tried to limit it. And so it sounds like you've
I've
cut the
limited
top.
price and I've limited amount.
Oh, was there previously more
During
that people could
COVID,
check
we-
out?
Yeah, because we
Okay.
couldn't provide as much physical.
But I guess what I'm trying to figure out is to limit it even further. It can be done where we could limit further how many books people check
We
out.
could, yeah.
Yeah. Are other libraries doing the same thing or?
I've talked to some who've done the limit, drawn it way down, and others who've just cut it off, and people with limited had much stronger negative reaction than those who just cut it off.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was gonna question, if we have power users who would be upset if we limit it, how are they gonna react when we cut it off?
Yeah.
But that's why we're also switching platforms to something else. We're not just whacking it and calling it good.
Yeah.
So
And so Hoopla is mostly audiobooks, but they have,
the use is mostly audiobooks. They do offer ebooks, movies, TV, graphic novels, and music.
okay. But our usage, you find.
Our usage
Patrons is
vastly outweighs everything is audiobooks.
audio. And Libby doesn't do audio? Or
It
they-
does do audio
Okay.
and ebook.
But you have to wait in line to get.
They have that different lending model
Yeah.
where you one person at a time gets it.
Yeah, okay.
You're only on the wait for a popular book for a few months.
Well, I was on the wait for what I thought was a popular book, and it said my wait was going to be like 3 weeks, and it, like 3 days later, it said, your book is ready, and I was like,
Yeah,
and
it
it
does.
depends, 3 weeks.
It depends on whether people turn them back early.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so, that was an interesting chart on page 25.
So we get ones for Blackstone when that,
Reports?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And can we get Libby as well if we're gonna continue to use Libby?
I could only see county level.
Can't distill down to,
No, we've tried.
okay.
Yeah, don't get rid of Libby.
No, oh, are you kidding me? I would like my skid attached to my butt.
All right, and then starting on page 27, we have the library data statistical.
This is, yeah,
Well, what was,
Oh, I'm sorry.
26.
that's the one.
26
Yeah.
was the people out. people
Yeah,
in.
I
Oh,
struggled to
that-
understand
sorry.
that one.
this is what I just want to show you. Because we've updated the software, did what we could. So at this point, we still don't have enough data to really do much of anything. But this is the kind of reports I can pull just straight out of that system.
That tracks how many people go through the gate.
Yes. What I'm working on is I need to take the Excel file and see if I can create a better, because their reports, I mean, this is literally it. This is what you get.
Yeah, do we know what the dips are? Is that the weekend or
That's
the
the days
days off?
Those are Sundays.
Okay,
So I'd like to, as we get better data too,
mhm,
because we have to leave a machine on that everybody is muscle memory used to turning off. And so we're finally getting that worked out, and we're gonna get some more consistent solid data. But anyway, that I just wanted to show you what it gives you at this point in time,
cool.
but we're gonna refine it and work on it too.
Yeah.
But explain this to me, it just looked like a dental x-ray.
It just shows the number of people that leave and the people, I mean, I should have flipped them, in and out is basically what it's showing through the gate. But
But it's not time, there's no time stamp, or does that represent?
that's the problem I'm having trying to get better data out of this. And we don't have enough to pull by the hour yet.
I mean, I'd be
Stuff
happy
like that,
just to see
so.
days first.
Right,
Before
and-
getting even.
Right, so I'm working on trying to get it. The other problem I have is that, as you can see, it only gives you those few dates at the bottom.
Mhm. Yeah. we
I
can see
can't
each day.
manipulate their stuff to the way they present it. So
Mhm.
that's why I'm gonna have to take the raw data and do it myself, so. But I just wanna show you what it does.
The interesting thing is that the number of people who came in left,
Mhm.
because you can see it.
Yeah, no, you can see
They just didn't necessarily leave at the
the same
same
time. Right,
time.
right.
But that first set is almost identical.
Mhm.
They came in and they left.
Yep.
So I find that interesting,
Mhm.
but I think
that's
that
how we hope it happens.
Yeah.
That they,
right,
they
that
come
they
in and
actually
they
leave.
leave.
Y'all do check the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh, we do.
Let's just get it.
So anyway, I just wanted to give you a
Yeah.
little glimpse as to what, I mean, but it's gonna get better as we get more data and I can make it tell us what we want,
Yeah.
the story we want. out there, so.
Okay, any other questions on that, page 26? And then we got the library data,
The usual stuff.
yeah, the usual stuff. Community Fridge is still doing really well.
Mhm.
The number of programs, up and down, but it seems to go up and down.
It's just, yeah,
Yeah,
I know what's happening.
still more than we had in 23 and 24,
Mhm.
so that's.
Yep.
Attendance, again, that up and down kind of, but again, more than we had in the last 3 years.
Starting off, well,
Items checked out, well, we are lower in this category.
Mhm.
Any thoughts on why?
No. I mean, just don't check it out so much right now. But you'll see it's
Seems
starting to rise.
consistent over the last 2 years.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it does seem to, well, at least the past couple of years takes a dip in August, so.
Yeah, so we're, in September of 2 years, it dipped, now it's rising, so. Interesting, just an interesting.
Yeah.
Digital circulation, looks like it's kind of going right along. And this is Hoopla.
Mhm.
Will Blackstone be regional as well, or will
No,
it be?
it's just our library.
Okay.
So we will be
So
able
we'll
to,
have more
so we
specifics.
will know those checkouts are ours, you know,
Yes,
and we
that's
will
awesome.
know those patrons are ours.
Yeah. And of course, Myrtlewood usage, that is based on who needs it, right?
Mhm.
And the Cedar Room kind of going right along. The wireless connection thing always makes me go, what?
Yeah.
I know.
What, did we talk about that? What
We
the
talked about,
changes?
our IT just can't,
They can't figure it out.
They just can't, like,
they just,
Okay,
you just,
we'll leave it at they do.
after my day of Windows 11, I'm just gonna leave it like that.
All right. Any questions for the team on any of the data that has been presented thus far? All right, so then we will move to our Friends of the Library report.
Oh, cool, that'd be me. So our October book sale, which we had, made $5.69, at just that 2-day sale. We have a new treasurer, so she didn't give me the bookstore for September, but I know for a fact that they made almost more than that in the month of September. Our $50 set of books went out the door a couple days ago. That Dune set of books
Yeah.
was fantastic. Some lady just, I'll find something else special to put up there. And a reminder that the third Thursday, which is tomorrow, is half off in the library. We've been trying to let people know about that more, so they'll come in. So they've been coming in, scoping out what we have on the shelf, and then they say, oh God, that's a lot. Well, come in on the third Thursday, and so they're starting to come in, so that's really picking up, so that's kind of helpful. And we have a book section of the month in there now. I choose a different thing every month, and we specialize in that. This month, the two is crafts and such, because holidays coming, so we're specializing in stuff people want to make for their parents. We have a kids section with that too, and parents, and those books are $1 or they're half off on our shelves. We'll do, I'm thinking cookbooks for November, because cooking time is coming, people for the holidays, so I'm trying to switch it every month, putting on something new, a special in the store. Just have to convince my store people that yes, this is for this section, not the entire. So one of our ladies got really confused, and so she's putting everything on half price on it. Let's just think about this. So,
Whoa, Nelly.
I figured I didn't explain it well enough or something. And then our monies we owe the library for this quarter. If you didn't get it today,
I did.
oh, you did? Okay, because. So they've got their quarterly 3,000,
3,500.
35, oh, see, I wrote it on, that's even better. Yeah, and so hopefully these sales will keep picking up, because we have another one in November, the 1st and 2nd, and then December, we'll have another sale. If we're doing really well, I'll still we try to do a giveaway in December. It might be $1 a bag both days, I'm not totally sure yet. It depends on how many more donations that we get in. And we're getting some really good donations coming in. So hopefully
That would be the 6th and the 7th of December, in case you were wondering.
Oh, okay, good, so I didn't write that down, I just know it's the first weekend.
Yeah.
After that, we'll lose my phone. So we're doing good over there, and we got to you guys, so. We talked about that today, we thought she'd already done it, but, oh, true. So,
Thank you, and thank you for being with us.
yes,
Next up is the foundation report. Now, the foundation hasn't met since the last time
No.
we gave a report. Anything new, Jenna, that you have?
Yeah.
You have to unmute yourself.
I hope I'm unmuted, am I?
Yep, we can
Okay.
hear you.
We have not had a meeting in October, but we have a new total of the proceeds from our annual appeal letter, and we have reached the $7,000 mark, which is pretty darn good. When we had a fall fundraiser, the most we ever realized was $3,500. So with relatively little effort and some stamps, we have doubled that. So,
A lot of
we
Jenna.
well, it is nice to see how much our patrons and supporters value the library and write checks to express that amount of support. So we appreciate that.
Awesome.
Going to be
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
All right. If nothing else on the foundation, we'll move to old business. We're still going through this
We
library.
have the last section, everybody's favorite, facilities. I thought it was very appropriate.
Okay, what page
might
is
wanna
that?
run
That is on
You
page
can run.
38.
Yeah,
Yes.
you don't wanna go through all this.
Thank you.
thank you, guys.
It's page 38, it looks like, or
38.
74 on the
Yeah, which-
virtual version.
Version, yes.
Okay, 74, yeah, but the commented section is like way down in
Oh.
100 and something.
Yeah. Well, we can, if you just want to look at the chart, you can.
Yeah.
I mean, either way. Since facilities are one of our ouchie points.
Is that what we're calling it?
Call it an ouchie. I mean, in some ways, I mean, if you look at 7.1 about being a community anchor, I think we nail that, so in that sense, we do community and cultural activities, as you can see by the graphs and numbers, a lot.
Right.
So, move down, and we do, we don't do a specific, in our surveys, we do address the facilities. We don't do a separate facility one though. Unless you count our various community meetings we've had about
Yeah,
the new
the new
facilities.
facilities, right.
So, and a 7.2 design, we do actually we do somewhat okay on this. Our entrance is clearly visible. We do provide access to electric outlets, all three of them that exist in this building. But we've done the best we can on that. We put out power strips, we put out, ways to make what few we do have more accessible to people.
Well, sure, this building was built before everybody had
To plug everything in.
3
Yeah.
or 4 different
Exactly.
devices on their body.
Right. And we do, support current technology. We do have materials return during and after hours. We do have dedicated space for the collections. I wouldn't say we necessarily have dedicated space for the people.
Well, the kids do.
Well, the kids do. Yeah. And the teens somewhat do, but,
Yeah,
not as much.
they will in the new library.
Not as much as we'd like.
We do have dedicated funding.
It exists for building maintenance. It's
Yeah.
never enough, but I mean, honestly, what library probably does have enough to.
Right.
And we do have signs
Yep.
to direct people in, which is nice. And as far as size and design, we are a little undersized, but not dramatically. Designed appropriately, I would say we are not.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah.
When you say not designed appropriately, what do you mean by that?
Well, the L shape of the building is a big hindrance. We have to maintain 2 desks because we can't see, what's happening.
There's a flow issue.
And there's flow issues, and it's all, it's like a domino effect. We have weird outlet spots, which this can only live here because there's an outlet. And so it's really hard to rearrange anything. And just having that line of sight is not great in this building. Because even from the front desk, you can sort of see into the kids' room, but not great.
Mhm.
And you certainly can't see around the corner. So it does impact staffing. We have to have the 2 desks, which then impacts what we can do. And, it's that domino approach. So it's a little frustrating sometimes. So.
I've been arguing with myself whether or not to bring this up, but I guess I probably should. And it's in the wording of the indicator on 7.2 under design, that if you read it, design supports the function of the library, and ended it there. I'm happy with it, but it goes on to say, with a plan for growth and incorporates best practices for public libraries, which I actually feel that none of these essential or enhanced or exemplary address that part of plan for growth. However, I felt that 7.3 did. And I don't know if it's just how I read it or what, because I was thinking plan for growth would be like a 2-year or 5-year plan for technology or the library, which you do address in 7.3.
Well, also though, you could look, and I would argue you could look at growth 2 ways.
Yeah.
That would be also the growth of your collection, or this should
Growth of the
rearrange.
But none of these indicators, these bullets under the indicators, to me, addresses that piece that has to do with plan for growth.
Okay.
I'm just thinking now that you bring this up, I don't think we've discussed at all, like what potentially up to 400 new homes would do, how that would impact the library. And then potentially even more if the port comes through. Like, I don't think we've ever talked about that.
When we were doing more back to the Toppets area, we did sort of discuss that slightly, but when the LNG was, so a similar conversation in the fact of what does this mean if a big industry comes in or a big, employer. So we did have that discussion then, and that was part of why this building is not sized right anymore. Because there isn't any cushion in this building for
Any kind of growth.
Yeah.
And that's why when we were looking at the size of the new library, it not only needed to be about 10,000 square feet bigger, but how was it laid out? This has no flexibility in it. But if you were to build more of a rectangle, there's lots of flexibility there. You can do lots of things with that and with better sight lines. So we did sort of have that discussion in that context, which I think some of that is applicable to those same things.
Yeah.
If a big industry comes in, or like I said, those 400 homes, those 400 homes would definitely increase. If nothing else, which that would address the operations side of it at least.
Okay.
But I will stick firm to this, that we need to have that flexible space so that we can adjust even if the growth of a collection shrinks or grows. We just don't have that flexibility here for a lot of reasons. The shape of it, the electrical, there's lots of
technology is not there.
So, but yeah, I think that's, even if we couldn't achieve a much bigger library, it's that being able to change what's in there.
The layout, yeah.
Better and
Okay.
easier than this. So,
Yeah. So I might just say, if these get visited again by your committee, that was just my observation,
Okay.
that with
Yeah.
that piece in there, it doesn't feel like any of these bullets addresses growth However, I do think it is addressed in 7.3.
Okay. Yeah, and then if you, yeah, just keep going down through there, you know,
Well,
it
we know
asks.
that design does not necessarily support staff functions.
Right. And we know. Yeah, that's another part where, you know, this building was built when it was just operations were different. It was a lot more physical material. It just, you know, it has not kept up with the changes of the library. You know, we could go point by point, but I think everybody kind of understands that, you know, what we have, I mean, it worked, and it worked great for a long time, but things have changed.
Yeah.
Which is why we'll back and back to that flexible space. But I think if you go down to the indicator that discuss design for welcoming to diverse populations with a variety of services, I feel like we do the best we can in the building we have for that. You know, we try to get some adaptive stuff. You know, unfortunately, we can't do a dedicated quiet space, for instance, but at the same time, we have public meeting rooms. So, you know, we do have some on the list. So, I think facilities though is probably our area where we are not as strong because we are in a 1965 building.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. And, you know, we can't nail them all. So, but I think, Peggy, you're right, 7.3 out of all of these is probably our one that I don't want to say care about the most, but I mean, would be most impactful for what to spend our time.
Yeah.
That would be the area we should spend our time. We can't really do much about the way the building is, but looking forward, learn from what we have and move forward.
And design a new space, a new facility that meets the needs and grows with us over time.
Right.
Which kind of to me circled back to the observation I thought I was seeing in programs.
Yeah.
Becoming more and more
Right.
popular.
Right, and that's why everything, all of the data we gathered, and we will have, you know, once the next round starts again, we'll have more community meetings. It will not surprise me if once again, meeting spaces or individual sort of breakout room type things are brought up again, as what is needed, because it is.
And they're needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to go through 7.3? Is there anything, I mean, aside from, we know that this is what we're looking towards.
Right, and what, you know, when it comes time to plan the next building, we will have meetings that address so much of this till they're running out of years.
And we're looking at a facility in the 32,000 square footage, or is that small?
We're about 32,000 square feet, yeah.
Even though we don't have necessarily a facilities plan, we do have an idea. Because we've gone through that when we were looking at putting the,
Well, the facility plan,
for present.
yeah. Ours will, we'll have to rehash a lot of what we've already done. Depending, because it'll depend on, you know, place, building type, you know, it'll all have to be redone because it hasn't been done since.
Yes, I mean, on page, 109 is that basic, what you just said. The public library does not have a facilities plan. Our building is having major structural issues and needs to be replaced rather than fixed. Because of this, we are doing only maintenance that is necessary, as the entire building will have to be torn down and replaced as soon as funding becomes available. And that's truly the conundrum where we are right now.
So,
And I'll maintain that we cannot be the largest community on the Oregon coast and not have a public library.
be a shame, for sure.
It affects economic development, it affects citizens, you know, citizenry. Any other questions for Sammy on the standards?
Well, I appreciate everybody, I know it's not the most thrilling read, but I hope it gave you some more insight to.
Well, I'm super impressed. I am super impressed with this whole, body of work the standards world, because I just think it's great that we know what they should be and where we are in
I think it's good to just have that self-check and
Yeah, it's
see
a lot of work.
where some areas, where should we spend our time at, really, so.
I did wonder, because the Friends of the Library, or was it the Friends, or somebody gave, money for redesigning
That's the
that-
foundation.
foundation, okay, that's coming or is happening?
No, well, the plans, I talked to the architect and he should have some plans for their November meeting to start looking at,
Okay.
to start
So
showing
it's
us.
coming.
Yeah.
And how long would that be under construction, like months?
I don't know what his plans are, so I don't know anything beyond that, other than he'll have some designs for us.
Okay,
So.
and, also, I noticed in the Friday bulletin from the city, they were advertising for a position for the library?
Yeah, we have a part-time library assistant.
Okay, what will they be doing?
They'll work the desks.
Okay.
Is a big bulk of their
Uh-huh.
responsibilities.
Yeah, I was glad to see somebody was gonna be coming your way, hopefully.
Hopefully.
All right, any other questions or comments on the library standards? Then I'll move to the steering committee report. We have revitalized this committee. I also sit in this committee. And at our meeting a few weeks ago, what we discussed was a variety of ideas of how to bring about a new library and what that could look like. How do we get interest from perhaps a developer? The idea that keeps floating to the top is a library housing mix, so a mixed use facility. To put something like that here would increase the cost quite a bit because the pilings that have to go so far down to hit bedrock would have to be even stronger because the building would have to be taller to accommodate for at least 3 or 4 floors of housing, apartments, condos, however you want to look at it. But there are some other property options, so we're looking at and floating those ideas and trying to get them to the proper people who could maybe make some of those connections happen. We know that there is some interest in that kind of a situation. It just hasn't come to fruition yet. So,
But we also had the city grant writer there, so it's on her, I mean, it's sort of always been on her radar, but it's even more on her radar of maybe some different avenues to approach for funding, not just the traditional, march down this path. So she's kind of
she's
a
got
nice broad look for us. We had Chelsea, the community development. She discussed some of the permitting and, some of the more, not minutia, but some important things to consider type things. And so that was nice to have her.
because if you're going
answer questions.
6 stories up here, there are some codes in the city that would restrict that. And how do we get those changed, or
what permits do you need?
what kind of permits would you need? How, so what we're trying to do is solve 2 problems with one building. We have a housing issue, we have a library issue. Let's find a way to make those work together. So it's still out there.
But kind of to add to what you're talking about, years ago, a friend of mine thought, and I think this is a great idea, that when you have downtown housing, however it is, you have foot traffic, which tells somebody driving by, why are all these people walking around? And makes them more maybe.
And that is definitely the case, as you see in a lot of the big cities that are moving a lot of housing into their downtown cores, because they want those businesses in those areas to thrive, not just during daylight hours, but at other times. Might also curb some of the homeless activity that we see happening.
Well, you come through here on the 4th of July and it's like, I don't even want to drive down. Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Thick with people.
Yeah.
It's like, what city am I in? And so there are people out there that come and.
Yeah.
So something like that, I just thought maybe that would help you look for funding.
There's a thought.
Yeah, I mean, but basically the meeting was everything's on the table. you know?
Yeah, we're not turning any, eyes away from any potential of anything.
Anything. So,
But it would be really helpful to have a developer come in and see the benefit of creating a building for housing and giving the city the bottom 2 floors for the library.
that's the ideal situation.
That's the ideal situation. The city would give concessions and tax breaks and those kinds of things. And that's where they benefit from coming in and doing something like that. So it's out there. We're waiting to see if anybody like grabs the bait.
Or, so, go ahead.
Was Nicole Rutherford at this meeting?
No,
No,
but she and I
okay.
have talked about it since.
And what was her sense of a developer coming in
Oh,
and
I-
taking on a project like that?
anything's possible, and she will continue, much like Janice, to reach out and chat with people and try and make some inroads and try and.
And there are some things that the city works on that she's privy to that she doesn't share with the rest of us. And I think that, we want to give her the information and the ability to bring somebody to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wonder if there are, like, all of the museums or facilities like the art, because history and marine, all of those are kind of settled, but what if there were something different, like are there really wealthy people out there that have a huge passion for little small electric trains, or, where they want to help finance some kind of a museum that would be a magnet. I mean, they have them in every city, all kinds of things.
I will tell you that we did look at doing a combination, girls and boys club with a library, but their location is not ideal. There's not enough space to build a library, not enough parking, and it's off the beaten path to the point where it would take some real signage to make people understand where the library is down there. So
Was there any discussion of what if these ideas don't pan out and we are still in this current facility?
Oh, as far as what happens?
Yeah, or any discussion of that as a possibility?
Yeah.
Knowing that we've,
Oh, yeah.
well, I
Okay.
mean, we have a somewhat plan in place. Sammy's been working on what happens if we have to get out of this building urgently and where do we go? And it would become everything's in storage and.
It'd be a closed staff
Yeah,
library.
it would be a closed staff library where you would go and request a book. They would have to come and find it wherever it's stored and bring it forward. And there aren't a lot of facilities in town that could house that, but it's, that if the cracks get worse in this building and things continue to deteriorate, it might be an issue of we have to get out of the building.
Although Crystal knows I always have a plan B, don't I?
Gotta have a plan B.
Always have a plan B.
Yeah. The issue would be, how do we get everything out of the building fast enough
Yeah.
if something really were catastrophic to happen?
Well,
And we don't want anything catastrophic to happen.
we don't. So,
But that's,
but it's not being ignored, I can tell you that. So,
any other questions about the steering committee? Again,
yes,
we only just met the one time after like being on hiatus for a while.
any discussion of, how the joint, library, or I guess that's more of a
that-
discussion for us.
yeah, that's coming up at the end of the month, and Nicole and I are meeting on that in the next couple of
I
days.
think that's next week.
It probably is, yeah.
I think it's the week
No, it's the
after.
week after, it's the last week.
Yeah, because next week I have a conference, so I know it's not next
Yeah.
week, it's the week after.
Oops, I can't.
You had city council last night, right?
No,
No. City council's next week,
Yeah.
so it's the off
then it's the
week.
week after that.
Okay.
It's the work session.
Yeah.
But we're in city council chambers, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, so for the board members, as a reminder, we have a joint, board and city council work session on the 28th.
6 o'clock.
At 6:00.
Okay.
Alright. Any announcements or new business or anything like that? I didn't think I had any new business that.
Let me just double check my list, but I, so we are, just FYI, we're closed next week, or no, tomorrow.
No.
No, next 23rd.
Oh my gosh, I can't keep track of my month.
Okay, you're closed.
Closed next Thursday for staff training day, so we're putting out all the notices right now, because we don't put them out too early, people forget. We
Right.
wouldn't put them out too late either, so, but they're starting to go out, so people know that we will not be here. Or will be here, but not open.
I might need to figure out.
I was gonna say, you need to.
Right. Yeah, nice bigger size.
Yeah.
A grande size.
A lot of people. What else, anything else, Tammy?
I don't think so.
Any announcements? Do you guys do trick or treating here?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yep, trick or treating
So
coming
cute.
in.
The little kids.
We're also, yeah, we're having, a sign will go up and kids will be in.
I will tell you that Costco had really good candy for really cheap. We also do it. Any announcements from any other board members?
I was just curious as to what Jacob was up to in Portland.
Well, which adventure?
This was with the city doing
Oh,
official business.
Yes,
The
yes.
LLC?
Yeah, we went to League of Oregon Cities Conference, in, Portland. It was, downtown, at the Marriott, and, it was really, and I said this at the council meeting, but we got to do, and it was kind of choose your own adventure. So you could go to, lectures, you could go to workshops, you could go tour different cities around. And I grew up, right in that neck of the woods. And so I got to go visit, some areas where I grew up, but see it from a very different eye. And to hear from other counselors and mayors and city managers and government connected folks, we all have the same issues, no matter where it is, at least here in Oregon. But the degree might be slightly different, but we're all facing really similar challenges. And that was very, heartening, because sometimes being out, what I feel is very far from where I grew up, I can sometimes forget that. And it's just like, we're all doing the same thing, just different degrees and different, amenities maybe. But it was a great experience, and, it was very cool to see Portland. It was the cleanest I've seen it in years. I know everybody was on edge, but it was clean. It was beautiful.
Did you put on a frog costume?
No, was that a thing?
What? There, if you did.
I'm stuck in a building with kids where all I hear is 6'7". So
Oh, yeah. Your school hasn't banned that yet?
it has, but that doesn't mean it
We'll talk
doesn't
about
say.
that offline.
Yeah, one announcement, we are staffing, there's a senior fair this weekend, and we will have a table there, so we also,
We plan to have a table there
yeah,
this month.
so we'll see you there.
Well, you won't see me there.
Well, you won't see you there, but somebody from your establishment.
Any other announcements or comments from the board? If not, I will adjourn and let Sammy, stop recording.
Here, let me.
Bye, everybody.
And Peggy, I am leaving tomorrow, so I won't make band rehearsal. Sorry.
Okay. But they're not the,